Good afternoon, Wrestling Inc. Get up, get going. Happy Tuesday. I hope you are ready to get teed up for some pro wrestling punditry. It's me, your Wrestling Inc. managing editor, Nick Hausman, joined here as I am every Tuesday to talk all about the wild, colorful world of professional wrestling. It's Issa. Issa, welcome back to the Wrestling Inc. Daily.
No, you welcome back.
I guess that's true. I was away last week, and I'm back now. And you and Michael had some power issues last week trying to get it.
Yeah. I had a power outage in the middle of the show, but we powered through it. Power is the highlight word here.
Yeah, power through, power on, power off, power on here today. We're gonna hope to keep the lights on as we do the Wrestling Inc. Daily. Obviously, the power is working. We got our first comment here of the day from Antonio Garcia, wishing both of us a good afternoon. Thank you so much. Jason Pock here, also jumping in as well now. Yeah, wherever you're at, if you want to just say hi or you actually want to talk about the news as we do it here today, which is really what it's all about, go ahead, jump into the comment section wherever you're at, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. I don't know. If you're on the moon using some kind of moon app, comment via that way too. That's how it works, I think. I don't know. We got a great show. We're going to talk some news here. Monday Night Raw was another hot one here last night. And at the end of the show, we're going to dive into the mailbag. We're going to look at Judgment Day. Edge's new stable reports they might be adding a new member. Who's it going to be? We'll talk about it later. Let's get to it, though. News you can use. News that will leave a bruise. And we're going to start off here with just what's going on with the bloodline here. You know, last night we had RK Bro, the Raw Tag Team Champions. They announced that this Friday they're going to be on SmackDown. They are still looking to be the inaugural undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. Made it out to be like the Usos are ducking them, right? Like Roman's ducking them. Like they're cowards. Cowards, Issa. Bloodline.
I mean, I don't think they're cowards. I just think that Roman saw, their performance on their singles matches against each other and decided maybe the time is not quite right yet.
A strategic plan by the big dog.
Right,
of course. Okay. Well, the Wrestling Observer saying WWE is still planning on having a match between RK Bro and the Usos, but they're not really sold on unifying the titles, right? How do you get out? How do you get out of that? You've booked yourself into this corner now, Issa, where I feel like people want to see these titles unified. You're naturally building to a title unified. How do you get out of this one now? How do you think they do it?
I personally don't want to see the titles unified just because I don't think it's working right now with the whole Roman Reigns thing. I don't want that to be an issue with the tag titles as well. I think you need a real authority figure to come out and say, yeah, we're not going to do that. I'm not talking Adam Pearce. I'm talking maybe Vince McMahon or somebody that we actually believe has authority on the show. I think that would be a good way to get out of it. I mean, I do like what they're doing on Raw, making other stars shine because there's not a champion, right? But if you don't have a plan for these titles once they become unified, then maybe it's not the right time to do it. And it's not the first time WWE would just drop a storyline without giving us an explanation. So,
sure. Yeah, no. And, look, Roman's a SmackDown star still. So technically Raw's top title is tied up over on SmackDown. Interesting kind of balancing act if you were to move the SmackDown tag titles over to Raw. I guess like some of the most prestigious titles on Raw would all of a sudden become the tag titles, and that's very different for WWE to present tag team wrestling in that kind of light. I don't want to say I hate it, but this to me kind of feels, I don't know how you get out of it, but I feel like this, and like there's like a couple matches are going to be settled in Hell in a Cell. In my head right now, I feel like I'm counting 4 or 5 matches that have all been so screwy with their storylines and stuff. They might be deserving of cell matches, but this is another one here where I could see RK Bro and the Usos wanting to do a tag cell match to kind of settle the score here one way or another.
I mean, the Usos versus the New Day Hell in a Cell match is one of my favorites. They had that tag team title Hell in a Cell match, and I thought they killed it. So I can only imagine what they'll do with RK Bro being so hot and so inspired right now. It just seems like Randy Orton has found a whole new life in this tag team. So I wouldn't mind seeing that match inside Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, and maybe it's not for the titles. Maybe it's just to prove who the better team is kind of thing. We don't need to – I don't know how you get there. I don't want to write this. Somebody else's
I know.
You figure it out. You're the
they could have just made the Backlash. I personally thought it wasn't a winner's take all because the RK Bro and McIntyre were going to win. If you were going to have the Bloodline win all along, you should have made that a winner's take all, and that's how you drop it. You guys didn't beat us. Your chance is over.
Yeah, Totally. Right. Yeah. Well, that's not where we're at, though. Here's where we're at right now. So again, somebody else's headache. I don't want to deal with this. But we got other news within the bloodline here, Issa. Roman Reigns, he's been out there. He cut that promo over the weekend saying, maybe you won't see me again here, right? He did the Instagram video where he's like, maybe you'll never see me tag with the Usos again. Fightful was out there saying no. Despite all this, Roman's factored into long-term plans for WWE. Well, according to the official announced schedule of WWE for the summer, following the June 24th tapings of SmackDown, WWE undisputed Universal Champion Roman Reigns is not being advertised on WWE's website for any TV tapings or live events for the months of July or August. The only shows that the Tribal Chief is currently being advertised for are the Money in the Bank and SummerSlam premium live events in July. So, you
I
love
mean,
Roman Reigns. How do you
I
yeah,
do it, and I do think not having Roman on TV or your premium live events will hurt the product. I don't know. Roman is such a good person keeping his life private. I don't know if he has a different project that WWE is gonna let him work on. I don't know if he requested the time off, which he would rightfully deserve. But it just seems like an odd time with him having both of these titles for him to just disappear and become, what WWE fans don't really like, that part-timer champion thing. So I'm really curious. There's a part of me that, because he's pushing it so much in his promos and these videos that he's making, that makes me feel maybe this is a storyline to make us, ponder about it, and it makes it intriguing. I don't know.
I kind of like, even if it's just like Roman just wants to sit home and like only defend the title once every 30 days and kind of get that heat without having to be overexposed. I don't hate that. I mean, it does kind of open up the door where you think, I mean, are they going to do something with the title? Drew McIntyre, it looks pretty decent right now. He didn't exactly pick up the win, but like still looks credible. Cody Rhodes, I think I'm going to get my wish here, is going to get his cell match with Seth Rollins, and that one's going to be off the charts. So he's still kind of off in the wings. I don't know. It doesn't quite seem like the time for Drew McIntyre, but I don't know. I'm kind of bored with Roman. I've said that a lot of times, though.
Wow. I'm slightly offended, but I'm gonna go
I
ahead
know.
and let it go. I'm
I
gonna
know.
let it go. But I do think something needs to give here. Even if you're not gonna have Roman drop the belts, he needs to have a couple of title defenses that mean something, right? I don't think Drew is there yet, even during the match, which I thought he looked great. That main event was so much fun on Sunday, but I don't think he was the center of attention. I actually thought Riddle or Randy Orton going against Roman would be more interesting than Drew McIntyre right now. I'm sorry.
Well, and that's what Jason Pock is saying here. Does it eventually set up a Roman versus Orton and Roman versus Riddle matches for Hell in a Cell and Money in the Bank? I don't know that you would split them up like that. I mean, you could. I love the outside the box thinking there. I think it's more likely we see both members of RK Bro in the Money in the Bank match. I don't see either of them in the build-up or at SummerSlam going against Roman. Maybe on the back half. Maybe into Survivor Series Rumble season. Because I in my head, and I don't know if this is Anissa, because they've been so consistent, but like you could do a tease there at Money in the Bank where Randy and Riddle have something that puts them at odds, with one another, costs one of them the briefcase. I'm just putting it out there. I still think Cody's going to take it, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it will be interesting to see what Cody does with the briefcase. But there's so many storylines that could be set with Money in the Bank if does right, So we'll see what happens. I think the more the weeks go by, the more invested I become in RK Bro. I feel like if they separate them, I'm gonna be heartbroken. It feels very Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho at this point. Like I don't want it to happen.
I know, and that's the thing, is like it's gonna be great when it does.
Yeah.
I'm so glad this was allowed to sit and simmer. They got a WrestleMania moment together. I mean,
I know. And I'm like the biggest, I don't like single stars coming together to become a tag team because it takes away from the singles division, right? But these guys have just proven me wrong. I'm all in, and it's gonna be insane when it does happen.
Well, Eric Douglas here saying, when do y'all separate RK Bro? Yeah, I think
No,
that
never.
I think, well, SummerSlam would be a damn fine time, in my opinion. It'd be a big marquee match, biggest show of the summer. I mean, this has been great. And Randy Orton's job was to get Riddle over And I don't know how much further you can push the guy beyond where he's at, right? Other than getting to the feud with one another, which is obviously going to elevate him and eat up probably 3 more months of TV time. It'll be great, right?
Right.
I think it's time, right? I think you could do Money in the Bank. Cody takes the briefcase. You have a little thing between Riddle and Randy where they get at odds, and then boom, next night on Raw, kick
As
off
long
the
as it's
SummerSlam.
Riddle, the one that turns. I personally been watching him closely, and I'm just seeing how he's hitting these insane RKOs, and I'm thinking at some point Riddle's gonna say, "I'm doing this better than you ever did, so I don't need you." You know, I can just see it coming.
Yeah. Hey, look, and an even more babyface Randy Orton after having to dispatch or deal with Riddle, and then you got look. Randy has been so buried into the tag team division, which is wild. Matches with him and Roman, matches with him and Cody, right? I mean, there's like even a reinvigorated Edge right now. You could go back to the what were they? They were rated RKO? I think that's what they were called when they were tag team together.
Yeah.
So many RK variations. So
yeah, there's been way too many RK somethings.
yeah.
But that's the thing about this one. This one is the first time that Randy's invested, and you can tell that Randy's just best friends with this guy. Every other time you know that Randy's up to something and Randy's not all in. This time Randy's doing a damn good job at letting you know that he's having fun.
I agree. And Terry Thompson here agreeing with you. Riddle's RKO.
Oof.
Chef's kiss, right?
That RKO on Montez Ford last night when he was hitting the frog splash. Oh my God. Insanity. It's insanity.
Street Profits are another one where I'm just kind of like, man, when are we going to, like, I don't know that I need a breakup, but I need them to do something meaningful. Like, they're far too just adrift for me at the moment. I'd like to see Street Profits get something to sink their teeth into.
I think they're a victim of RK Bro being so hot right now, because as soon as they announced the match yesterday, I was like, yes, Street Profits are not winning. They're not doing that to RK Bro right now. So because it's so predictable, the outcome, no matter how good, because the match was a lot of fun, but no matter how good it is, you know, the Street Profits are not winning these titles anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Terry Allen Jr. here with a super chat. Raw lacks a WWE champion. It's an ongoing issue. Yeah, well, we'll see.
I personally have fun watching Monday Night Raw last night. I think the last hour kind of like, you know, slowed down a little bit, but I did a watch along, and I got to tell you, I was enjoying the show.
Yeah, no, I think that the thing about Raw that I like at the moment is how little the titles actually do matter. Like, you know, you got the tag title stuff. I thought the U.S. title was used really well last night with Theory and Cody. I mean, I'll bring that up right now. Yeah, I mean, Cody did not take the U.S. title from Theory. He got attacked by Seth Rollins. So
we knew it. We knew what happened. And they used the women. There was, 4 women's matches last night on the show. So if not having a champion there, get some more women on the show, I'm always going to be pro that.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was a very female friendly card, and the stuff that they're doing, you know, even when it's not like great, it doesn't suck at the moment. Like even even the 24/7 stuff, like I need a divorce. I'm like, this makes me laugh. I'm also an idiot. I'm an idiot. So like I'm easily you can get a giggle out of me.
I could not stop laughing Ken Owens and Ezekiel last night.
Yeah, Ezekiel, funny. Dumb. I'm an idiot. I like Ezekiel. And I think it's great.
It's Elias. That's Elias, by the way. It's not Ezekiel, but
different human. I think he might be the Ultimate Warrior. I don't even think he's Ezekiel. I think he might be Jim Hellwig. I'm like kind of half convinced of that now.
maybe he invoked the spirit and did some witchcraft. You never know.
I'm sorry. Brian Bill's correcting me. That was Ken Owens that we saw last night on Raw. Not Kevin Owens. It was his brother.
It was Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens revealed himself to be Ken Owens. I was very shocked. I never knew. I didn't know until he took off the wig. I couldn't believe it.
Well, Cody Seth in a Hell in a Cell. I'm very excited about it. And way too. They did the throwback WWF shot of Austin Theory getting interviewed with the fans behind him up on the right. They very rarely do that shot, and I really liked that. I hope they keep doing that. Just as a side thought.
Yeah, I thought it was great as well. I was like, okay, this is a little different, not the backstage typical interview.
Let's talk about the women here a little bit. We did have Alexa Bliss along with Lily. She returned to WWE TV. She defeated Sonya Deville pretty quickly, too. Very ambiguous return. She seems to be a babyface. And there we are. I don't
Of course she
know.
is. I mean, she was gonna get a big pop. Questionable on the squash match thing. I thought they would give him, a real match. But I'm gonna go ahead and let it play out because Sonya was probably all over the place, finding out that she just got terminated from her authority position. So she probably wasn't ready for this match. She didn't know who her opponent was going to be. So I mean, if you follow the story, they did a good job with that. I'm just happy to see Alexa back. They gave her a pretty dominant win. We'll see where she goes. I was very happy to see the Twisted Bliss and the Goddess version of Alexa back on TV.
Yeah, it was like a hodgepodge. It was like when Mick
Yeah.
Foley would come out as like corporate Mankind with like the Dude Love shirt and like the Cactus
Right.
Jack boots. It's like, who are you? All of them? All right.
Right.
All the faces. Well, PWInsider.com had a note about Lacey Evans. You may have noticed on Raw, Lacey, they did like one of her vignettes on Raw. It wasn't on SmackDown. That did catch me off guard. Well, Lacey has apparently been moved to the Raw brand internally. And it was also noted that after like a month or so of these vignettes, just like making you cry at the
Cry. It
like-
made me want to punch her in the face. I said on our podcast on Friday that she was a heel. Every time I hear her stories, I want to punch her in the face. That's a heel gimmick if I ever saw one.
How is that a heel gimmick? Where it was like, I grew up with a father who like got drunk all the time, and I was in a horrible home and got kicked out when I was 17 and was the first person in my family.
And you're doing very well for yourself now.
school.
Good for you. You made it out of it. That would have taken one vignette, not 10 of them.
I just don't know. Like,
I'm
what?
telling you, Nick. I said it. Even Alfred tweeted me today and said, "Okay, you were right." I said on Friday, I said, "I'm sorry. This is a heel gimmick. I want to punch her every time she comes on TV."
What? Okay. I guess. I don't really want to. I'm maybe too much of a soft mark because, like, I want to give her a hug. I want to I'm sorry, but if the
She said she feels bad for people that never been put in a situation that scares them to death. Like she's acting like she's better than everyone because she was able to overcome that, dismissing what other people's hardships may be. It's a heel gimmick.
Okay, well, Antonio Garcia is saying, I agree, Issa. And look, by the reports, by your observations, it does appear we're going in this heel direction. Maybe I've lost the plot. I really thought they were going to bring her back as a big baby face, and it's like, rah, pro-military. We have this woman, the strong woman who has overcome so much adversity. And you're like, no, she's going to kick him in the balls and get on with her life. That's the plan?
Yes, I hope so.
All right, fine.
As long as the vignettes stop, I can't deal with it anymore.
Ezekiel, wear a cup. That's all I'm going to say, because somebody's going to have to. Somebody will be made an example of, and if she's a heel, Anyway, all right. Lastly, here before we'll dive into the mailbag here, we're gonna take a quick commercial break after this. But Adam Shear, and I can't show the video. I used to show videos from social media, but then we got in trouble.
Copyright
So not allowed to,
strikes.
but man, I wish I could fill this screen with 7 seconds of your time. Have you seen the Adam Shear, Heath Ledger Joker? I wouldn't even call it a video. Like it's like a GIF that he did.
I haven't yet, and I saw it on the run sheet when I sat down to log in, and I was like, "Wait, what is he talking about? I need to go check it out. I'll probably watch it after since we can't show it."
Well, we're gonna take an ad break here in just a second. We're gonna have like a 2-minute break for everybody to get a glass of water or get a drink or whatever. And I want you and everybody else to just hop on, go to. I think it's his Twitter. I'm pretty sure it's his Twitter, not his Instagram. It's his Twitter. This is a 7-second video. He's dressed in a suit. He's waving a like butcher's blade around, and he then quotes Heath Ledger's The Joker with a "why so serious" line is glaring into the camera. So everybody hop on over, check that out. We'll catch you on the other side. We'll talk a little bit about that. We're also going to talk about Judgment Day. This episode of the Wrestling Inc. Daily is brought to you by Raycon. Moms out there, they're one of the few people that actually call you on the phone and they leave you voicemails anymore. They're like, hey, how's your pro wrestling journalism career going? And I'm like, every day is weird. I cover pro wrestling journalism. So, why not this Mother's Day? Why don't you spoil your mom with the gift of quality premium wireless audio, courtesy of our good friends over at Raycon. So Raycon are these wireless earbuds that I've got in my ear right now. They are must-have for super moms all of those masters of multitasking who need to keep their hands free. With Raycons, they can stay entertained listening to their favorite podcast, music. They can take phone calls. I was just doing that in the other room. You got this vivid voice technology, all of it hands-free. Look, wearing them, not touching anything. They're user-friendly for moms that aren't used to wireless technology. Easy to set up. I just opened up the case, which was super easy to do. And then, boom, on my phone, I went over to the Bluetooth area. It said everyday earbuds. I connected, and I'm listening to the music, and I'm talking on the phone. And this right here is great. They got all these different color options you can pick from. I chose black, like the black color, but you can find mom a color that suits her and her personality and her style. You're going to get these optimized gel tips. They're going to make sure that your earbuds fit perfectly in ear. You get to choose from one of 5 sizes. And trust me when I say this, they're not going to budge. Okay, they're not going to budge. Watch me. No budging. I'm swinging my head around. They're staying perfectly in my ear. So for the mom on the go, Raycons offer 8 hours of playtime, a 32-hour battery life with their compact portable charging case just right here. They're priced just for you. You get the great quality audio. You get half the price of other premium audio brands. And Raycon's everyday earbuds right here, they have over 49,000 5-star reviews. So tell your mom how much you love her. Make sure she hears it in crystal clear audio by going to buyraycon.com/wrestling inc to get 15% off your Mother's Day order. Again, that's buyraycon.com/wrestling inc. And we want to thank Raycon for sponsoring the Wrestling Inc. Daily. And we're back.
That was terrifying.
Did you watch the Adam Shear video?
I did. That was actually creepy.
But in an uncomfortable way, right? Not
yeah.
Yeah, no, oh man, I really don't want to be left alone with this guy. You know what it is?
Yeah.
I bet he heard that Harland got let go and was like, I could do that better. I can be Joe Gacy's muscle. I could be a weird Tex. I could be creepy. Sure.
Nailed it.
All right.
So what? People think he's gonna be the Joker now? Is that what they're saying because of this?
Yeah. It's Joker type gimmick. And by the way, I should have set this up top. I screwed up the run sheet. We had an interview on the show here today. I'm gonna have to go back and do an insert earlier. Right now, Raj Giri's interview with Court Bauer is going to debut on the Wrestling Inc. YouTube channel in about 5 minutes. So after the live news segment ends, you can jump over that. We got 8 minutes. I'd say closer to that, but. You go check that out, and you just heard it as part of the podcast. I'm going to have to go do a sting at the top. I'm going to have to record that afterwards. It's dumb. So maybe I'll even just do it. I'll just do it live. At the end of this, just a stupid thing. But it's great. It's really good. MLW's got their antitrust lawsuit that they filed against WWE. Raj was able to get some comments from Court about that and the future of their women's division. It's a wonderful conversation. So check that out. We'll have posts up on the site here pretty soon after the show with some of that written up as well. All right. Let's dive into the mailbag. I love today's mailbag question, Issa. I really do. Because Judgment Day, Edge's Judgment Day stable kind of sucked for a while. Kind of sucked. And then what? You don't like that?
I mean, we haven't given them the chance, come on. How can you hate people turning into vampires in the middle of a match? It's great.
Look, floating throne. I love the floating throne to the ring. I love the big fire throne. I didn't like. There was a couple weird promos that didn't make any sense, and then there was
the first two promos made no sense. You're right.
Zero sense. And then Damian Priest did that one match that ended weird, and he just went to black lights and stared into the screen, and I was like, this is not how this was supposed to be. I don't know what this is. So it felt like it wasn't going well for me. But the addition of Rhea Ripley. Starting to tighten up, new haircut on Edge, tight look. I'm in. I'm digging Judge. I think I'm back on the bandwagon. I think I'm pro Judgment Day again, Issa. How are you feeling right now?
I am too. I think the addition of Rhea Ripley to the stable, and then when she unveiled herself, a backlash with the black hair, like you said, Edge with the haircut. They gave them 3 segments on Raw yesterday. Judgment, they got a lot of airtime on Raw, which goes to show you they're very invested into this new stable, and I liked it. I like what they did yesterday.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. I thought it really kind of set this thing on the tracks. I was like, okay, right. I'm starting to see the pieces here, right? And then we get this PW Insider report here today that says that there's been talk of adding a 4th member to Edge's Judgment Day stable. So I ask everybody out there, I posited to you all at Wink Daily over on Twitter. If Edge's Judgment Day stable adds another member, who should it be? I listed Finn Balor, Tommaso Ciampa, Mustafa Ali, or somebody else. We got over 300 votes here in the last hour. 67.6%. 2 and 3 people want Tommaso Ciampa in Judgment Day. 18% to Balor. Only 9.8, about 10% for Mustafa Ali, and 4.6 for everybody else. Are you with everybody here, Issa? You want Ciampa in
No,
this group?
I voted for Finn Balor, but it will have to be the demon version of Finn Balor, not the prince. I think the demon Finn Balor will be great. If you take a look at it, it seems like every member that he's adding has like their own little thing. You have the punishment with Damian Priest. Now you have the brutality with Rhea Ripley. So I'm kind of like trying to look into that. I think a darker Finn Balor will be an exceptional addition to Judgment Day.
I like all three of these. I can make it. And Ciampa, he's at a point in his career where if you could give him a big moment to do something big and give him a great 5 years that he never thought he was going to have, more power to him. This would certainly give him that spotlight.
But he doesn't have gold spooky vibes.
You're telling me Tommaso Ciampa doesn't have spooky vibes?
He doesn't even have the hair to go with the faction.
The hair goes out the front of his face, not the top of it,
So he's bringing the beard. He's bringing the beard to Judgment Day.
He'll do it'll be like tight on the sides and short in the middle, kind of like the mohawk, but on his chin, like a chin hawk. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I like Ciampa. I don't hate Ciampa. I don't hate Finn Balor. I don't hate Mustafa Ali. Ali could certainly use something right now, but I get the vibe he's more tied up with The Miz, which is fine too. That's its other thing. Still very early for both of them. There was a fan that wrote in here, or a listener, I should say. Let me find it here. This was from, a lot of write-ins here. It was from @Wrestling Addicts. They wrote in for the Viking Raiders, and that's a name that I've been thinking in my head watching last night because I could see the kind. There's nothing's ever the same, but it's not DX, but I see shades of what could be a DX there with your champion in Edge, your mid card champions in Rhea and Priest, and you need kind of a New Age Outlaws maybe unit attached to that. A tag. Is there a tag unit out there that could be revitalized by being added to this Judgment Day stable? And man, Viking Raiders, they're about as in the weeds right now as anybody else. It could certainly, I think, pull off these spooky suit wearing vibes with all those tattoos and everything.
Right. I didn't even think about it that way until now. You just brought it up. Not a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, we also had a couple write-ins here for Dijakovic, T-Bar. Sure. I mean, again,
he does need something.
Needs something. I like at Braxton UK. He wrote in Jinder Mahal. I don't think this, but guy needs something, right?
I mean, he's in contention for the Intercontinental Championship, so
why not? I guess. Is that what he's doing right now? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, him and Shanky have been feuding with Ricochet.
Oh, that's right. SmackDown from last Friday is one of the last things I haven't watched. I have been binging wrestling nonstop for 2 days while I work because I'm trying to watch everything that I missed on the cruise. Haven't gotten to SmackDown. I heard it's upsetting.
I actually haven't watched the SmackDown from last week either. I took Friday off because my sister flew in for Mother's Day. It was a family week oriented for me, so I haven't watched it yet. But last I watched SmackDown, that's where Jinder and Shanky were.
Okay, cool. I didn't even think. I mean, I don't know. So, I gotta watch. I heard they did Ali dirty on the last SmackDown. I'm gonna see how that played out. But.
Oh, I gotta watch it then. I know I didn't like what they're doing with Ali on Raw either. He lost yesterday. I know it was to a fast count, but that's 2 weeks in a row where he just loses.
Yeah, we also have Dell in here 13 from the comments. He has have Ricochet turn heel, join Judgment. Too many things would have to happen for that to happen.
Right.
So we're all outside the blocks. All right, we're going to put a pin in it there for today. Raj's conversation with Court Bauer is about to premiere on the Wrestling YouTube channel, so bounce from this to that. Also, come back here tonight after WWE NXT, the Wrestling podcast. You're going to hear people like Issa talking about NXT, talking about the news. You can support the Wrestling Inc. Daily. We're on all the podcast platforms. And, of course, support WrestlingInc.com. We're on all the socials. Issa, anything you want to put over here before we wrap up the show today?
NYC Demon Diva on YouTube. Go subscribe to my channel.
All right. And I am at Nick_Houseman over on Twitter. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And remember, if you winked, you didn't miss it. All right, cool. This is the overrun. I'm going to record the sting I'm going to put at the top of the podcast release right now because I screwed up because I forgot that we moved Raji's interview last minute to today's show. So here's what I'm going to do. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hey, Wrestling Inc. Daily listeners, it's me, Nick Houseman. The official show is about to start, but this is a little bit I'm going to do before it because I forget to mention in the intro that today's show features a huge exclusive interview between Wrestling Inc., El Presidente, Raj Giri, and the founder of MLW, Court Bauer. That's going to come up where it always does, in between the news block and the mailbag. And without further ado, here's me, Nick Houseman, with the Wrestling Inc. Daily. Oh, that was great. I think that worked out well. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to y'all soon.